Muscular strength and endurance test. Push-up test and procedures. Proper form for the push-up is once the client is up, arms are extended, and the shoulders, hips, and knees are all in line with each other. As the client goes down, his chin should touch the ground and arms extend at the top. To show your client proper form, make sure that they start the test at the bottom, but they cannot rest at the bottom. They must rest at the top, like so. So the client can now begin his test and count as many push-ups as he can get before failure. So in this case, you'll see your client starts getting tired. As long as it's good form, that's still a good rep. And once they start breaking form, just like there, then you don't count it and the test is terminated. We'll do calculations later, but for this one, your client got 8 total push-ups. Modified push-up test. This test is just like the other test. The only thing is the client is allowed to keep their knee on the ground. Their shoulders, hips, and knees should still be in line with each other, and feet should be on the ground. Client's chin should touch the ground. Make sure that their stomach does not rest on the ground and that their arms are in full extension at the bottom. Client may begin his test now and count the number of reps he can do before he has to rest or before form starts breaking. If your client has fatigue, then you will record the total number of push-ups completed. Now that you have your information, you can use this chart from ACSM to categorize what your client would fit under. Because my client was a male between the ages of 20 and 29, he fell under 16 push-ups, so he would be in the needs improvement category. Muscular strength test, leg strength. It is always important to have your client stretch and warm up before doing any kind of test, especially a maximal test like the one that we were going to be doing for the 1 rep max leg strength test. So have them stretch out their legs, their hamstrings for about 5 minutes prior to the exercise, then you may begin. Once your client is ready, you can instruct them on proper form. Make sure that they are laying on the leg press machine with their feet about hip width apart. Their hands cannot rest on their legs to push them up. They must be on the sides. Let them know that they need to push their legs up, release the lever, and then they may begin. So their legs do not lock out at the top. Make sure that they have a slight bend during the test. My particular client knew what her estimated 1 rep max would be. So what we did is we had her perform about 4 trials with rests about 3 to 5 minutes in between each trial. We used a percentage of 50 to 70% of her capacity to warm up with, and then resistance progressively increased by 2.5 to 20 kilograms until she couldn't complete the repetitions any longer. In order to stay consistent, all of the reps must be performed at the same speed and range of motion to be counted as a good rep. Once weights are successfully completed, more weight can be added and the subject will keep on going until they cannot perform their 1 rep any longer. Once your client starts getting closer to the projected 1 rep max weight, then you want to be around to make sure they need assistance. So you can stand by and you'll see that she starts coming down because the weight's too heavy, so you can assist them at that time. That rep would not count, so you would count the rep before this one. In order to classify your client, you'll get their weight. She was 68 kilograms and the weight pushed for her 1 rep max, which was 100 kilograms. You would do a ratio of weight pushed per body weight, and we got 1.47. Now that you have that number, you can look at the ACSM chart and fitness categories to see what she would fall under, and she would be categorized as average. The anaerobic endurance test is used for clients who are relatively new to working out or also for the older population. So basically what you have your client do is you have them perform sets of 2 to 10, with starting with a lower weight and then gradually increasing. If your client is able to complete more than 10 reps, then you would gradually increase the weight by small increments, about 2 kilograms to 20 kilograms, until you can find a set where the client is not able to reach more than 10. In this case, she performed 11, so once she stops, we'll add more weight until failure. So this client got 8 reps, and you would also record the amount of weight lifted in pounds. This test is used to predict what your client's 1 rep max should be. So you would get the weight lifted in pounds divided by 1.0278 minus 0.0278 multiplied by the number of reps performed. So in our client's case, you got 95 pounds divided by 1.0278 minus 0.0278 times 8 successful reps, which gives her an estimated 1 rep max of 118 pounds.